everyone, welcome back to Season 3 of HR Secrets. If you're new to the series, welcome. We are glad you could join us. My name is Angelica, and I am one of this year's External Relations Coordinators, and I am one of your co-hosts for this episode.
Hi everyone, I'm Victoria.
And I'm Sherry, and we're your other co-hosts for our final episode of the series. HR Secrets is the HRSA podcast series where we look into different trends and aspects of HR to provide students with more knowledge on the HR industry.
We are so excited for this episode. For our final topic of the podcast, we delve into a crucial aspect of the workplace dynamics, workplace well-being and mental health.
As organizations increasingly recognize the pivotal role of employee well-being in driving productivity and success, navigating mental health in the workplace is essential.
Join us as we explore strategies, insights, and the best practices aimed at fostering a supportive, mentally healthy work environment for all.
Today, we are pleased to have Shaneika Blake, HR and Administration Manager at Blind Beginnings, here to join us in discussing this topic. Hi Shaneika, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Shaneika.
Okay, now before we get into things, Shaneika, could you please introduce yourself to our audience and tell us about your journey in the HR industry?
Absolutely. So I'm Shaneika Blake. I am the Human Resource and Administration Manager at Blind Beginnings. At Blind Beginnings, we provide support and resources for kids and youth who are blind or partially sighted. I am from Jamaica, so I have both my bachelor and my MBA in Human Resource Management from the University of the West Indies there. And I have over 12 years of combined experience in the human resources and administration industry. So I've held many different roles from executive assistant, office manager, recruiter, and now my current role, HR and admin manager.
Thank you, Shaneika. It's really great to hear all of your past experience. We're going to move on to our first question. So, what are some personal strategies that you use to manage stress and maintain a healthy work-life balance?
That's a very good question. Thank you. So the first thing I do, I set boundaries between work and personal time because I work on a hybrid model. So it's very easy to work all day. So I ensure that I'm always at my desk between 9 and 4:30 p.m. and I have a full stop at 4:30 p.m. I try my very best. There are days, of course, when I go over that time, but I definitely try my best in doing that. The second thing I do, I practice mindfulness and meditation right before bedtime. So I usually put away my phone for about an hour, no screen time, and just reflect on my day and what I've achieved and what I hope to achieve the next day. I also engage in regular exercise. So I try to go to the gym at least 2 to 3 times per week and boost my energy up. I'm an immigrant, so definitely having a social support here helps. I have a circle of friends and sometimes we just hang out, and of course, we have a belly full of laughter. And I also volunteer a lot. So a lot of my free time I spend volunteering because this brings me joy to share my time and to give back to those who are most vulnerable in our society. So those are the things that I do definitely to maintain that work-life balance.
That's great. Thank you so much for your response.
It was great to hear about some strategies you had about dealing with stress and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So for the next question, I'd like to ask you, what does mental health in the workplace specifically mean to you?
It's a very good question. Let me just start by saying mental health in the workplace is a crucial aspect of overall well-being that encompasses both individual and organizational efforts to promote and support mental wellness among employees. So to me, personally, mental health in the workplace means creating a culture that prioritizes psychological safety, having those open discussion that addresses mental health. It's okay not to be okay, and not just say that, but for employees to know that when you ask them, how are you, they can actually be honest about how they're feeling and offer that support and resources such as employee assistance programs where persons can reach out and get the counseling help that they need, and wellness programs. A lot of companies now have included wellness budget as part of their financial planning. And I've seen where employees are using that to do different things, not just going to the gym, but whatever wellness means to them. It may be childcare, where they pay for childcare for their kids after school. So companies are incorporating different aspects of it, which is great. And I think fostering a positive work environment that encourages well-being and work-life balance is very important.
I think you mentioned really great stuff about mental health in the workplace. They're definitely really important. Just want to move on to our next question. How do you approach destigmatizing mental health issues within your company?
So the first thing I do, I create a safe space. As HR, I definitely have to create a safe space where employees can feel comfortable coming to me and talking to me about just about anything. So I create a safe space that welcomes open dialogue and communication around mental health. I also provide training and education on mental health awareness because it includes all of us. We are all a part of this mental health thing. And so I offer resources and support for employees who need help in that area. And I also promote a culture of understanding and empathy. I lead from the heart and I lead by example in normalizing discussions around mental health. So I will go to work and say, I'm not feeling 100% today, and this is why, rather than, so I lead, but just by doing that, others are comfortable in sharing when they come to work as well.
Yeah, that's really wonderful to hear. I'm really glad that you take such approaches to destigmatize the mental health issues because it's quite an important topic.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to move on to the next question. So how does a focus on mental health contribute to employee engagement, productivity, and overall organizational success?
The focus on mental health in the workplace contributes to employee engagement, productivity, overall organizational success by enhancing employee moral well-being and job satisfaction. I think when employees feel supported and valued in terms of their mental health, they are more likely to be engaged and motivated and productive in their roles because they feel a sense of belonging. They don't feel like they're being judged, or they feel like they belong to this organization, so they want to add value to it. And I think addressing mental health concerns also reduces absenteeism and turnover. Definitely, it eliminates workplace conflicts because there's that open space where everyone can just share how they're feeling. There's no judgment because you've educated the workforce, so everyone knows how to support each other in that space. So I think it leads to a more positive and efficient work environment.
I'm glad to hear that because of the positive work environment that everyone's coming together to have better mental health. And for the last question, we've talked a lot about current mental health, but I was wondering how the conversation around mental health in the workplace has evolved over the years.
I think the conversation has been evolving, especially since COVID, and it's unfortunate that we had to make a pandemic help us realize and start talking about this. But we're now shifting from a culture of silence and stigma to one of openness and awareness and proactive support. I think every organization right now, they're talking about DEIB, which is diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and that encompasses mental health. So there's a growing recognition of the impact of mental health on employees' well-being and organizational performance. And this has resulted in increased initiatives. I've seen so many organizations having those wellness days. As I said earlier, they have wellness budgets, they have policies and resources aimed at promoting mental wellness in the workplace. They're incorporating mental health and awareness in their core values, and which is good. And I hope it's not just word, but action, that they're actually putting it into action. And companies are also more focused on creating inclusive and supportive environments that prioritize mental health as an integral part of the overall employee experience, which is commendable. And recently, under the Bill 41, which is the amendments to the Workers' Compensation Act, which was passed just this year, actually, employers now have a duty to accommodate, and not just accommodate persons who are recovering from physical injuries, but also those who have a mental health issue. So I think with all of this in place, we're definitely moving in the right direction.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insightful knowledge about mental health and in the HR industry. And there you have it. This is a wrap up season 3, episode 4 of HR Secrets. Shaneika, thank you so much for your time and sharing your insights into workplace well-being and mental health. We really appreciate your time and we really enjoyed having you on our podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
To our audience, thanks so much for tuning in. We hope this episode provided you with some valuable insights and guidance that you can use on your own journeys. That is a wrap on this podcast series and our time here on HR Secrets.
Our success would not have been possible without our amazing sponsors, so we would like to take some time to give them a huge shout out: the SFU BD School of Business and Simon Fraser Student Society BD.
As well as CPHR British Columbia and Yukon, Wise Prep, and Clear HR Consulting. Please visit our website if you're interested in learning more about them.
This is Angelica, Victoria, and Sherry signing out. Thank you for listening, and we will see you soon.